All right, what's up? I'm going to get into the wow moments in another video, so keep your eyes open. It's going to come right after this, but we're going to get into this right here because this needs to be said along with like some points I need to make on this, okay? So Sony has announced that yes, Jeff Grubb was indeed correct. We are getting an August state of play for PlayStation. However, it comes with a massive twist. Now, me, Marlon Gaming, me and Hip Hop Gamer and many others have been going into heavy speculation with you all, right, about what can be shown in August. We all thought that this was going to be the month, and granted, it still could be the month where we get like a PS5 like show. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it won't happen in this month, but odds are it's looking like September could be that month now. But more on that later. We went into heavy speculation for this month that Sony was going to reply and respond heavily to Microsoft's first party showcase. As you guys clearly can see by the public's reaction, by the public's, perception of the show, of Microsoft show, and the Craig memes, etc., etc. Yeah, that didn't necessarily put pressure on Sony. And guess what? Sony decided to switch around and not show PlayStation 5 at all at the state of play. This particular state of play will focus strictly on PlayStation 4 and PSVR. Yeah. Now, a lot of people might go, well, that's fine. We got 110 million people on PlayStation 4. And granted, you're right. We do. There's gamers on there who still will like some updates, which they can definitely get out of the show. I'm going to stream it regardless, for sure. But, there's gamers out here that can get some updates, could use some updates, which is fine. But when we're going into a next generation console and we have yet to got the pre-orders for, and we're getting closer and closer to launch, I'm talking we're like, 3 months away from launch at this point, and we don't have pre-orders, we don't have any other new announcements. Yeah, that's kind of where a lot of us are kind of like, what the hell? And granted, I already knew. I kind of figured. I had this gut feeling that we weren't going to get anything like this. But something told me. It's like, nah. I was like, nah, we're going to get it. I was like, nah. Like my gut feeling's like, no. I got conflict in me. Like, no, we're not going to get it. So let's get into why. Again, why we're not getting it. Microsoft, at the end of the day, didn't really apply pressure. This is why I said pressure is needed. Like, for me, this generation, I remember I wanted, I know a lot of people were upset about, Forza Motorsport. I was too. The reason why I was upset with Forza Motorsport, and more than likely Gran Turismo is probably going to be in the same category. We're not going to get that at launch. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point because no confirmation. Again, confirmation is key, right, guys? No confirmation. But you know what I really wanted to see? I wanted to see a lot of head-to-head bangers go at it between Sony and Microsoft. Why? Not because of console war, because it promotes, competition. It shows like, yeah, this is our quality versus your quality. Okay, we'll take notes. We'll step it up. We'll give you this one next year. And you get, what I'm saying? You get different variations out of this. You get different results. You get different outcomes at the end of the day when you have competition. Sony hasn't really had any competition for quite some time at this point. And it's crazy because Microsoft was controlling the narrative not too long ago. The game trailers or Game Awards, they showcased the console. They did the breakdown. They got to the third-party showcase. Everybody was saying Sony's scared. It took only one PS5 reveal, and now we're back to what we're used to right now with PS4 and Xbox One. It's like nobody cares. And even Sony is showing that attitude. Nobody cares about Microsoft in terms of responding. They don't even see Microsoft as a threat. And why do you think that is? Because Microsoft lacks the proper motivation to showcase games that really push the competition to step their game up. Sony right now, listen, let's keep it right. Y'all already know I'm a big Sony fan. I'm a big diehard here. I will tell you, I will praise Sony from a mountaintop, right? I'll stand by Sony as a company. But let me tell you something right now. I can't stand with this decision right here. I can't stand with this decision because when they just showcased the box, okay? They showcased some first party. You know what they didn't showcase though? Their third party. They didn't showcase their other studios. We don't know what else is coming for the console, right? We don't know the pricing of the peripherals. We don't know the pricing of the console. We don't know any of this stuff. Right now, Sony and Microsoft are playing a game of chicken when it comes to pricing. Even though I still believe that PS5 is more likely going to have a $400 price point and a $500 price point with their two models. And Microsoft, again, we don't even know if Microsoft is even dropping with a Lockhart. Many people saying that that's true, but at this point in time, it's like, I don't even think it's going to happen. I'm thinking that's probably going to be a revision of Xbox Series X. But hey, we don't know. This just goes to show, man, there's just this divide here. There's this split in terms of expectations and reality. Our expectations should be super high, and yet the reality is we're not getting what our expectations are calling for. Why? Because there's no motivation to do so. A lot of people either cap for stuff that they shouldn't be capping for. Dude saying Halo Infinite looked absolutely amazing because of gameplay, and I'm sitting there going, okay, it looks fine for Halo, right? It looks fine. But to say that that's amazing, to say that that screams next-gen leap, to say that that is the new standard for any game, when I didn't see much there. I didn't see hardly any enemies. I saw a really closed world, or not closed, but I saw a really dead world, I didn't really see much out of it. That doesn't scream next-gen to me. And granted, dude's talking about 8K visuals, like... Dude's trying to hype up 8K visuals, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. Yeah, you want 8K visuals and dead worlds. You know what I want? I want vibrant worlds. I want more consistent AI. I want, my character models to actually move like they're moving and not necessarily feel like they're moving through sludge when it comes to controls. That's what I want for gaming, for PS5 and Series X. I don't know about you guys. Dude's focusing on, the pretty package. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But on some real, though, nothing wowed us. And this goes right to Sony. Nothing wowed Sony. Guess what? They're not going to showcase their hand. So anybody trying to flip this to a console war, you clearly are missing the big picture here. And to those saying that we don't need Sony, or we don't need Microsoft or Sony, you are missing a big picture here too. The console war has really consumed your mind. If you're at this point where you're like, we don't need Microsoft. We don't need them at all. We need Microsoft. We need PlayStation. We need Nintendo. We need the big three. If you take one of them out there, you know what that does? That creates that literally messes with the balance here, right? That breaks the balance, and you now have two. And more than likely, that one company is going to have the monopoly over everything, especially when it comes to third-party support and first-party. Do you really want that? Do you really want that? Do you really want Sony to drop games whenever they feel like it, or do you want Sony to drop games when they need to drop them? Do you want Sony to make announcements when they feel like it, or when they need to make them? To this month, so far, as of right now, this doesn't look like we're going to get anything. But hey, I could be proven wrong on the 6th. But if we're not getting anything on the 6th for PS5, guess what? This is a month wasted for PS5. This is a month that could have been for us to get even more pumped for PS5. They took that away. Why? Because they don't have any competition. We need Microsoft to do better. We need Sony to definitely do better. But a lot of people are going to try to spin this to console wars and not look at the bright picture. And that right there is where you really miss the point. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. When people see Microsoft as a joke and Microsoft acts like a joke with the X going to give it to you and dressing up as bunnies, guess what? They look at the brand, they look at you as a joke. When Sony says we have a lot of shows planned for you in the coming months and we're literally 3 to 4 months away from launch and we haven't gotten a single update, a lot of people are going to look at you as for what you are, conflicted. See what I'm going with this? Not everybody is nobody's winning at this point in terms of announcements. We're not really getting much. So, hey, I know there's going to be somebody try to flip it and go, oh, we got this amount of games. Okay. What are release dates for all these games? Yeah. You can't answer me that, can you? Yeah. That's the point. So, now, as I close this video, another thing I want to get into before I just really get into the actual gaming news, which is going to be in another video, the Xbox branding. This right here has caused so many... I saw so many people flip it, and I never thought I would see people flip it to this extent, but this needs to be said as well. if you're going to call out Microsoft for the whole Microsoft removing the Xbox logo, I know a lot of people were shocked we didn't talk about this on RGT. Let me tell you why. Because this would have went into a topic that probably would have shocked all of you in terms of our replies. But let me go ahead and get mine out here just in case somebody really wants to know. So Microsoft removing the Xbox logo from Game Pass. Yes, they removed the logo from Game Pass. Just like Sony removed the only on PlayStation tagline from their first party games. In terms of, especially going into PS5. Remember, from this point forward, going into PlayStation 5 titles, you will have the PlayStation Studios logo. Why do you think that is? Sound off in the comments. I'll tell you why that is. Because next generation is going to be very different from what you guys seen in this generation. A lot of people are too busy fighting the console war and looking at the pretty visuals, and you're missing the vital point that's really going to shape next gen. A lot of these companies are definitely going to take that next step. I promise you. You give them an inch, they will go a mile. But again, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Microsoft has done a lot of silly statements. They've done a lot of silly announcements. They haven't really treated the Xbox brand as a whole as, like, you know, something really worthwhile, right? All thing they've done is put everything into Game Pass, but that's kind of their new metric. That's really how they're going about it. Their new metrics. Yeah. And it shows in their first party, does it not? Why? Because they're not trying. Sony, hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going to say I warned you. So, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. See you on the next one. Later.